Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear friends, this is Farooq Mirza, your host from Fourth Pillar TV USA's program, Washington Global Forum. Today, we have very important topics to discuss. First of all, I welcome a panel from USA, Professor Dr. Golam Mujtaba. He is a foreign relation expert, community activist, columnist, and he is a loud voice uh, from USA for Pakistan. And we also welcome Matloob Khan from Texas, Houston, and Syed Ahmed. Dr. Saab, also we welcome you, and especially uh, Deputy Attorney, former Deputy Attorney Sindh, Waleed Ansari, he's also here. We also welcome all of you. Thank you very much for coming. Uh, let's start. We will go first. First of all, we will talk on the first segment. It's on a growing tension between Iranians and Saudis, and now the Americans they are getting involved. Things start heating up when the U.S. came to know that Tehran is supplying weapons to Russia. So this is a very important topic. And the second segment, we will talk on a very important visit of Pakistan's premier recently. He was in China, and they have decided to extend CPAC project to Afghanistan. So that was the goal. Very good news from that region, but it will also create a lot of controversies and questions. The last segment will be our local politics in Pakistan, and we will also review what is going on. And one of the long marches on the way, two bloody deaths, and one of the journalists, she uh, was killed uh, during the line of duty, and what happened. Later, we will also talk on this. We will find out what are the legal aspects. And the last segment would be on some silly statements on came from the politician, arresting and planning to keep them on different places in somewhere in the Mud jail in Quetta. Uh, Folks, let's start. Dr. Saab, uh, uh, the first question, I believe, this is an open forum dialogue. Uh, so all the panel, they are free to answer as it is. There is no restriction. Dr. Saab, we are observing rising conflicts and controversy, and the nature is very serious. While Saudi, they shared uh, an intelligence with the U.S. Uh, government that Iranian they are planning to attack uh, some anywhere, somewhere, and it's getting very dangerous. U.S. is already hyper due to the potential supply from the Iran to Russia. So what's going on? Is it a rise of a new controversy, and what would be the impact of this controversy on the region, especially the regional organizations like uh, largest international body after United Nations, OIC, and the League of Arabia States and the Gulf Cooperation Council. So what's going on, Dr. Saab? What do you have latest?
I think I will direct the question to somewhere that has relevance to all the questions that has to come forward in the next few minutes. First of all, yes, the breaking news is that Saudi Arabian intelligence has intercepted Iran's move to attack Saudi Arabia in the next few weeks or days. And that Saudi Arabia, that interception was forwarded to the Pentagon, and the Pentagon spokesman yesterday, a brigadier general, he addressed the press that we are not going to leave our ally in the Middle East alone. That means the statement was, it inferred that the United States would support Saudi Arabia had there been any move from Iran to attack Saudi Arabia. This is a very serious situation in the Middle East, given the fact that Russia is involved in Ukraine, and Russian invasion has created so much of turmoil worldwide, creating shortage of oil and the price hike in oil, which has resulted and has affected a common man all over the world. Now, looking to this complex situation, what we see in Pakistan, this is also related that Imran Khan has gone for a long march and he want to attack Islamabad by force, asking the government to bring something that suits his interest in securing power. This means the entire ball game is just between two camps in the Middle East. And the political pundits in Pakistan, the political forces in Pakistan are on either side, and Pakistan is divided in these camps today. What we see looking from the United States on the other side of the Atlantic. Now, going into the details, as we know, and I'll go very short on that.
Dr. Saab, you want to say that the Imran Khan is a part of this controversy?
I'm coming to that.
Is
That's
that
why I
you
said
want
that I
to?
have to bring the entire issue to sum up, and then you can go for the questions. On February 24th, Imran Khan met with President Putin, and that was at a time when Putin was going for an aggression, a war against Ukraine, and he showed his solidarity to President Putin, the only man in the world who dared to go to Putin and show him the solidarity, which was not Pakistan's policy for the past 70, 75 years. Pakistan was responsible as one of the US allies in the breakup of the United Soviet Union. And those wounds were not healed even today by those people who worked for the Soviet Union, including the KGB man, Mr. Putin. He was in the KGB. Now, those wounds are creating hostility. And at that point of time, when he is meeting Putin against the wishes of the United States and the allies, there was no consensus in the allies, those who support Pakistan. Those countries who are friendly to Pakistan had no intention to go with Putin. And he tried to go with Putin. And then on March 7th, after February 24th, he received a cable. And a cable was sent by Asad Khan, the former ambassador of Pakistan in the United States, Washington, D.C. On March 22nd, which is 15 days from the cable, the US Undersecretary Azra Zia met with the Pakistani leaders, including Imran Khan. Azra Zia was in the OIC, Organization of Islamic Conference, in Islamabad. And the type of meeting that was held, you can see the faces of the people. It was smiling faces. There was no complaint from Pakistan on anything related to cable or cipher conspiracy that was presented before the people. So there was no objection or no news on that. Pakistan did not put any voice of dissent against against cable of Asad Khan at that time. That was March 22nd. March 30th, vote of no confidence was tabled in the National Assembly of Pakistan against Imran Khan, which is very much legal and in consonance to the Constitution of Pakistan. Now, on April 7th, Russia was suspended from the UNHCR, United Nations Human Rights Council. Russia was thrown out of the United Nations Human Rights Council by a two-thirds majority. And that voted Russia out because of the aggression that Russia showed against Ukraine. Now, on April 9th, there was a final vote of no confidence that was approved in the National Assembly of Pakistan, removing Imran Khan. Again, on April 9th, after being removed, Imran Khan alleged that it was a US conspiracy and a cyber report received from the ambassador of Pakistan. A conspiracy to remove Imran Khan was done by the
Dr. Saab,
United States.
Dr. Saab, what exactly you want to prove? These are the series of
No, no, no,
incidents
no,
we
no, no.
already know.
We are coming to that. Without going into that, we'll not come to anything. On October 6th, in the United Nations Security Council, in the United Nations Human Rights Council, a resolution put forward by the United States condemning the atrocities in Xinjiang, the province of China, where the Muslim minorities had to face brutality and massacre at the hands of the Communist Party. That was that failed. Resolution failed by 17 to 11. Pakistan voted against the resolution, and Pakistan's ambassador is on record to have delivered a speech saying that Pakistan believes that there is no brutality done in Xinjiang. Pakistan believes that China is taking care of the Muslims in China. Pakistan believes that China is protecting the interests of the Muslim minority in Xinjiang, which is against what we have the news all over the world, which is against the realities. And Pakistan supported China. Now, on 7th, the resolution in the United Nations Security General Assembly, 143 votes, charged Russia for invasion and aggression against Ukraine. And there were hardly few votes that went in favor of Russia or abstained to favor Russia. Those countries who abstained included Pakistan. Now, coming to the question, Mr. Imran Khan is very much relevant to the situation overall. That includes Iran's current affairs, the turmoil in Iran, the unrest in Iran, and Iran's desire to attack Saudi Arabia. These are all related issues here. The timings of the move by Iran, the timings of the move in Ukraine by Russia, the timings of the move for China, these are all related stuff.
Dr. Saab, I will come back to you.
Imran
Yeah.
Khan played a role damaging public opinion against the United States by bringing a false story of cipher conspiracy against the United States. There is no truth at all in that, and we have
Dr.
discussed that.
Saab, I will come back. I will come back to you. We will take from there. I will. Matloob Saab, Dr. Saab said many things. What's going on this rising controversy, but we also see our Wazir Kharja Bilawal Bhutto when he came to United Nations and later on many statements he second what Imran Khan, when Imran Khan met with the Putin, he seconded it loudly. Later, Shahbaz Sharif also met with them, and still they are talking to buy oil and gas and other resources like wheat and other directly from the Russia. So it means the Pakistan People's Party and the other 13, including the federal government, they are they are they are on the same page where the Imran Khan was there. So my question is to you. Please answer me in response to the American perspective. So this America is getting involved when they receive a valuable intelligence from the Saudis that Iran they are planning to attack uh, on Saudis. So what would be the impact on the region and Pakistan-U.S. relationship? Definitely, we have a long-term relationship with Iran, and there would be a regional problems if something happened down the road. What is in your mind?
Um, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. First of all, I want to say Farooq Mirza for thank you for having me in your show. सबसे पहले I would like to say read the statement what the Associated Press has said. that according to the Associated Press, Saudi Arabia has shared the intelligence with the American official that suggests that Iran should be preparing for imminent attack on the kingdom. And then the National Security Council said in their statement that we will not hesitate to act in the defense of our interest and the partners in the region. So, in my opinion, in this geopolitics situation, what's going on in the region, not only in Southeast Asia, but also in the Middle East, uh, what's going on in Iran right now. I don't think Iran in this situation that he can able to attack any nation surrounding his border, because he is also very much involved in the domestic issue. In the recent week, the Biden administration has imposed sanction on the Iranian official for the brutal crackdown on the demonstrator after the death of 22 years old Masha Amini in September after her arrest by the morality police. So Iran, I think, is very much involved in their domestic issue, and I don't think, in my opinion, the Saudi kingdom has any kind of imminent threat at this time. But again, according to the what the Associated Press had said, um, and always the United States, always defend their interest not only in the region but also in the surrounding Southeast Asia. Uh, One more thing also, the U.S. Relation with the Saudi Arabia have been strained after the Riyadh-led alliance in the oil-producing nations like OPEC announced in October that it would cut the oil production by 2 million barrels per day starting in November. So there's another issue what's going on with the United States and the kingdom. So in my opinion, there is a very little chance that Iran could do anything, but threat is always there. Um, and if you remember back in Obama days, they make a deal with Tehran, and the deal was provide Tehran with the billions of dollars in sanction relief in exchange to the country agreement to roll back their nuclear programs. Uh, and that deal is still there. That's how they can, uh, the U.S. can stop Iran for enhancement, their nuclear material and the stockpiles. So the situation is very different. And again, everybody have their own opinion, but I would say uh, the Dr. Saab or Wali Saab can say anything about this issue.
We,
I would
uh,
like to add. I would like to add one thing here because there may be confusion. And the thing is, Associated Press. I'm reading here. One of the officials who confirmed the intelligence sharing described it as a credible threat of an attack. This is Brigadier General Pat Ryder.
Yeah, you're right.
The
Absolutely.
United States,
That's from the
the
Associated
United
Press.
States has confirmed that there is a credible threat. There is no ambiguity in threat. Now
Dr.
let's go
Sayyid
ahead.
Ahmed Saab, I will come back. I will come to you. Iran has a long-term restrictions, financial restrictions, but now we are learning that they have in hand with the very sophisticated drones and other uh, war technologies, and now Iran is supplying to Russia. Do you think uh, this is a Russian uh, production in Iran and is getting back his inventory? Number one. Number two, uh, should America get involved in Gulf regional conflict as he just ended up a long-term warlike situation in Afghanistan and in Iraq, and when we look into the economy back in the United States of America, the people they are suffering. So is America is ready to come back to the region? If it starts, what would happen to the world and world's economy? Sir, you have open your mic, sir. Open your mic. Open your mic. Open
You
your
have
mic.
put a mute on the mic. Your mic is on
Not,
the mute. We can see on the screen your mic on mute. You can see it yourself.
yes, Walid Ansari Saab, you can answer the same question, please, while
Ji
there
sir,
is a
first,
technical issue with that.
sure.
Yes,
Thank you for having me on your program, Mr. Farooq Mirza sir. Very
thank you.
grateful. I just would like to add, I agree a lot with what Mr. Matloob Khan has said, but I would like to put in my own qualification. And that is that because of the internal disturbances within Iran, I wouldn't be surprised if they would make a limited attack to use that as a pretext to further repress what is going on inside and control it, through force. They may impose an emergency or something like shoot at sight orders could be given. And to deflect that turmoil that is going inside, the resistance that's going inside against the government, because the government is very controlling in Iran, and there's a lot of dissent against it. So if they have decided to attack Saudi Arabia, it would be, I think, in reflection to what is going on within their country. I would give some credence to this report because there is always the possibility in politics, especially when you feel there's Iranis have also accused the Saudis of interfering and supporting these protesters. But the thing is, the record of Iran in the region has been very dismal because it has intervened in so many places in Iraq, in Syria, in Lebanon, in Yemen, that it has in fact led to more to destabilization than to any kind of harmony or peace in the region. So the region is in a flux, and it could be that using the war that is going on in Ukraine, Iran may have decided on such a move. Time will tell us.
Sayyid, Dr.
Yes.
Sayyid Saab,
Yes.
you heard the question and you can answer now. Please add one more thing. There is a war in the region. Ukraine and Russia, they're in the middle of the war, and the regional stability is at risk. Do you think another war between Saudis, Iranians, and the involvement of the Americans? What would be the impact on the economy and the regional peace?
Can you hear me? I cannot see
Yes, I
anyone.
hear you. You go ahead, sir. You go ahead. You go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you can talk now. So we hear you. Yes, we hear you.
Okay. I cannot see anyone except myself, and I'm not very pleased to see myself. I like to see other people. I cannot see
We can
anyone,
hear you. Yes, we can hear you. You can talk now, please.
but I cannot see anyone.
Okay. Dr. Saab, let's come back to you. He has a technical issue, and when he will come back, we will get him in. Dr. Saab, you can answer this question from where you start. Dr. Golam.
Listen to this, Farooq Mirza Saab. I do not expect everyone to agree on what I'm saying, but this is my opinion for the past 4 to 5 years. And this is not something new that I've been speaking before the media. I've been consistently speaking on the topic time and again. There is a Middle Eastern divide, and that reflects in all the societies of the Middle Eastern countries, which includes Pakistan, which includes Saudi Arabia, which includes Yemen, which includes Iraq, which includes Bahrain, which includes Syria, which includes Lebanon. And what we have seen is that there is a sectarian divide in the Muslim bloc, the Shia and Sunni divide. Now, coming to that, we do not subscribe to the sectarian divide of the Middle East. We do not subscribe to the to divide based on faith. But having said that, let me make it very clear that there is 90 plus percent of Shia population in Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is not involved in any intrusion into any country's activities or domestic affairs. Azerbaijan is not involved in Pakistan. Azerbaijan is not involved in Yemen. Azerbaijan is not involved in Syria. Azerbaijan is not involved in Bahrain. But we see the footprints of Iran in all of these countries. It is not something that someone would target it based on sectarian ground. No, it is not sectarian. It is the expansionist designs of the Iranian regime. The expansionist design of Iranian regime is in contradiction to the designs of the Azerbaijan, who are also 90% Shia population. They are not involved in any expansionist designs.
Dr. Saab,
It is
thank
the
you very much.
political. Hold
I'll,
on. It is the
yeah.
political design of Iran that is creating peace stability in the entire of Middle East. United States is not against anyone. United States believes in diversity. United States believe in ethnic diversity, diversity of faith, diversity of sectarian diversity, all of this. United States believes in equality and justice. United States is not against Iran. We are not against Iran. Let this be very clear before your audience. We are against the very wishes of the leadership of Iran that is trying to create a divide in the Middle East, trying to create a chaos in the Middle East, trying to create hatred in the Middle East. We do not support that. We don't want these weapons of mass destruction to be used by Iran and enhanced by Iran through centrifuges supplied by some countries to build up nuclear weapons and then target hate ideology in the Middle East. That is why United States stands by Saudi Arabia. And in Pakistan, Imran Khan, what he's doing, he's trying to create a divide in the society. He's trying to create a divide within the army. He's trying to create a divide within the institutions. Now, let's be very clear. I don't want any diplomatic words. This be very clear before people that we all know that no one hates Iran. We all know Iran is a brotherly country of Pakistan. But the regime that is involved in creating hate, that is involved in creating divide in the Middle East, that wants to take over other states, is not acceptable by none of us.
Dr. Saab, I'll come back to you. Sayyid Ahmed is came back. Dr. Saab, please carry on. You have a question, please. Response to my question.
Yes. No. Yeah. Dr. Nadeem, Dr.
Can you hear me, bro? I cannot see anyone. I
Dr. Saab, you have a technical problem in your phone. I will come back to our next segment. There are a lot of good news coming from the region. Prime Minister of Pakistan, yesterday he was in China, and they decided to extend the project of CPAC to Afghanistan. I think that was the design in the beginning, and now practically they are moving to that design. Matloob Saab, you know that on this project there was big lot of conspiracy theories, and we see in our neighborhood even they try to sabotage, and then the Iranian they like to enter into that project, and Saudis they came in the middle, and now this project is going very fast, and the Chinese they are coming back to Pakistan with their investment, almost 15 Arab rupees they will spend immediately, and they will also going to start a cleaning water project for the Karachi, for the communities. And they will also do many things to in the rehabilitation process of the flood victims. So now the Pakistan-China relationship and the American response is already received. While Pakistan favored China on the issue of human rights violation the killing of Muslims in China, the Pakistan was standing uh, with the China, and we received the American response that Pakistan is the most dangerous country in the world in the nuclear. Their their assets were not safe. So how America will respond while this new project is and going to
Uh, Farooq Mirza, I did not get your whole question, but what I get is about your about the China and Pakistan relationship and the recent visit of our Prime Minister to the China. So, one thing I would like to tell you about this, that you remember the Pervez Musharraf is the one who started, one belt, one China road, and and uh, and then the dilemma with our country is that we do not continue the project that we started. Every government comes, they pause the project and they started their own. So we must have, doesn't matter which government come in the power, the project should be keep going. It should be continue the way it's been designed. So we need, not a short-term program or short-term planning. We need a long-term planning to develop Pakistan. And I think the energy corridor that Pakistan China is building is a very what I say critical and good for the Pakistan economy for the future, and it should be done. Uh, the recent visit, for the prime minister is going to China. I think is a very vital because he need to reschedule the loan that Pakistan have to pay back to China. And if he's successful to doing the rollback those or reschedule the loan, that'll be a great achievement for the prime minister. But the way he is doing that is taking the big delegation. I'm against that. Taking the whole Boeing and taking I don't know how many people with their delegation just to renegotiate. I mean, we are a poor country. We should go into the commercial flight to save the money for the people of Pakistan, the taxpayer money.
Matlub sir, doesn't matter how many people, but they came back with the good news and also with the
listen, if we're getting a good news on the money of the people, taxpayer money, I don't think is a really good news. It is a good news in a sense that we are rescheduling, our own loan, but it's not a good news that you are taking a vacation, taking a big delegation and booking the whole Boeing 747 going to China. I don't think.
Then, sorry, sir. The same question to you, sir. We have a limited time. I want to give everybody the time,
Okay.
proper time.
Thank you very much.
So
I would like to
respond
first of all emphasize that we must open the CPAC project, not to include people, but to inform our own Pakistanis as to what is should I say, the benefit of this project that will accrue to our economy. The Chinese government has been a very old ally and friend of Pakistan. But the thing is, this CPAC corridor, this benefits more the Chinese economy than it would Pakistan. We have no qualms about that also. But what is it exactly that Pakistan is going to benefit from it? If you will remember that the Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah had said that Pakistan is the fulcrum of the world. A time will come that everything will pass through Pakistan. It is the doorway because on the north of Pakistan is a mountainous range. And from that mountainous range to the Arabian Sea, this is a door which connects all of South Asia and Far East even to Europe, to the Middle East. And if there were proper highways connecting the economies, we would have had a lot of transit over here. I remember a study was undertaken by the National Logistics Cells in which they had predicted how much Pakistan would benefit from being a corridor or a transit route between the economies of the world. And they had said that almost 40% of Pakistani businesses, if I'm not mistaken, would go into transportation. It would become such a big business. But with China, if this is a corridor that just links China to the Middle East and beyond Pakistan's shores, what benefit or how much of that transit uh, finance would we be obtaining? I'm sure that it will be not even negligible. So the project is viable in the sense that further connections are introduced or established, linking all the other countries, especially they should start with this, Central Asian countries and all the way to Turkey. We have that, but I think it still requires an expansion. It is very limited and is very cumbersome at the moment for our transporters, for all transporters, in fact. So I would feel that there is a positive aspect to the CPAC, but there's also a very big negative aspect. We must see from our national interest what can we benefit from this corridor. How can we benefit? It is good that the Chinese are investing in a lot of sectors in our economy, but the thing is, the loans that are accruing, will we be able to repay all those loans in the near future? We have seen already what happened to Sri Lanka. They defaulted, and it is feared
Please,
that
thank
Pakistan
you very
too
much.
may go there.
I think Sayyid Ahmed, doctor, now
Hmm.
he's again on the line. Doctor Sab, already asked you a question. You can respond to my questions. Dr. Ahmed Sab, Sayyid Ahmed Sab.
My question is still same. Can you hear me? I cannot see
Yeah,
any
I
question.
hear you. You go ahead, sir. You go ahead.
You
We
will.
hear you. We can see you. You can start talking
How?
now, please.
I will. But my question: how come I cannot see other people? That's a problem.
There is a technical issue with your on your end. You just we can hear you and we record you. Please go ahead.
Okay, I will answer very uncomfortably, but thank you very much for inviting me. I will
Right.
go into the historical perspective of that whole issue. I don't know the book name of the book of Nixon who wrote in 1970s or something. I read that book. Okay, in that book they say the Cold War between Russia, communism, and capitalism, between America and Russia is over. Next 2021 century will be a war against Muslims, and we have to finish Muslim. In other words, they have already started finishing Muslim from 90 late 80s, just after the Russia, and they did not realize they will finish Muslim countries so fast. Libya, Egypt, you name it, Syria, you name it, there was a war. Once upon a time, in I think in late 1990s or early 2000, they were saying Middle East or Islamic world is already in Third World War, except one or two countries, Pakistan and Iran. They brought coup in Iran through Khomeini in Iran. So there's only two countries left: Pakistan and Iran, and Saudi Arab. The ultimate target is Saudi Arab. There will be a war. This is our belief, but I don't know how true it is that holy war will be fought against Saudi Arab. Saudi Arab, Iran, and Pakistan was not involved directly into this war. Other than that, every country in Middle East, in the Islamic world, was involved, brutally involved, brutally. Iraq, Syria, Libya, Egypt, you name it, Yemen, everyone was involved. Now, how to involve Saudi Arab and how to finish Iran, Saudi Arab, and Pakistan? They have already targeted Pakistan. They have had planned. Please go back and read the Nixon book. They will attack Pakistan as they were attacked when they were getting out of the Vietnam. They attacked Cambodia. When they get out of the Afghanistan, they will attack Pakistan. There will be a civil war, and Pakistan will be completely destroyed, just like Syria. How to involve Iran? Now they involve Iran with Saudi Arab. Both countries will go into a war, and both will be in turmoil, and both will be destroyed. This is my firm belief. This is my historical perspective. Maybe I'm wrong. So Iran and
Yeah.
Saudi Arab is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Dr. Saab, I just want to know what would be the impact after that if USA is getting involved coming back to the region. That was my question.
USA was never out of the region. Who told you USA is out of the region? USA is never out of the region. Who told you USA is out of the region? USA is still in Afghanistan, USA is still in Pakistan, USA is still in Iraq, USA still is fighting in Syria. Who told you USA is out of this region? USA is in that region, is still in that region, not actively, not in war. They are repairing themselves, they are recovering themselves from whatever the damage has done to them financially or whatever. They are recovering from that phase, but they are still in that region. Don't be fooled by that. USA is out of that region. USA is still in that. USA has to be in that region because the next target after Islamic world, which was finished very fast, faster than Russia, they will come after China. So this is, I think that what I read in Nixon book briefly. I don't remember. A long time back, I read that book, and that was their plan, master plan. It was written very clearly because it is will be a one world, one world order, only which is good for us. I love America. God bless America. I'm totally 100% behind America because I live here, and and I really trust America. I support their policy. I 100% agree with them. But they have a one world, one world. There's no second world. There's no third world, and that is their plan. Was written very clearly in Nixon book. So now you know only three countries were out of the war. Pakistani partially out of the war, but it wasn't.
Lots of thank you very much. We have a very limited time. Dr. Golam Mujtaba Sahab, I will come back to you to complete the second segment. Uh, I was asking.
Before you complete the second segment, Mr. Farooq Mirza, let me put my point of dissent here. And I'm disagreeing with your points, which you based on your discussion just now. First of all, I see the Dawn newspaper this morning. It's right in front of me. And I'm quoting Dawn. Beijing commits additional assistance package of 500 million yuan for flood relief efforts. 500 million yuan that has been committed by China on Prime Minister's visit is equal to 68 million US dollars. And 68 million dollars is just peanut.
Nothing. He's right.
Now coming to the next point that I see in the Dawn. Shahbaz, she agreed to finalize the formalities for early launch of Karachi Circular Railway. Does not mean anything to me because CPAC is going on for the last since 2006, and there was a lot of hue and cry that once CPAC comes into Pakistan, Pakistan will start flourishing. And I'm adding to the statement of Mr. Walid Ansari. What CPAC gave to us in 2006 when CPAC entered into Pakistan, Pakistan's total loan was $38 billion. Today, Pakistan's total loan is $110 billion. This is CPAC has given to Pakistan. This is the type of economic flourishing Pakistan we see now. Is that what Circular Railway will give it to Pakistan?
Absolutely.
Is that what Sri Lanka has been given by China?
Yes.
Can you name a single country
I want to add
China has entered and that country has flourished? Give me one example of a country where China has given loans and the country has economically flourished. None whatsoever.
I agree. I want to add when Dr. Saab is over. This is done. I want to add, I totally 100% with Dr. Golam Mujtaba. When the CPAC started on new TV1, I think it was a TV1 or one, I have said the same thing. CPAC is not going to give us anything. Zero. Will be just like a tax
Good
collector.
Dr. Nadeem Saab. Now let me add one more thing here. Why the CPAC agreement has not been made public, or why that has not been brought to the Parliament of Pakistan? We know that Pakistan signed an agreement of 44 years lease of Gwadar port to China. Why? On what grounds? What has Pakistan achieved so far of giving lease to China, providing the Gwadar and taking out the butter and bread of the people, local people, the fishermen of Gwadar? This is what CPAC has given. The people in Gwadar do not have pure water to drink. This is what CPAC has given. CPAC has given nothing except
Dr. Saab,
putting burden of
Dr.
loans on Pakistan. No, listen to me. The foreign minister of Pakistan was in the State Department. He was here for a couple of months. He met with Blinken, Secretary of State, and Secretary of State emphatically said that China should come up to reschedule loans for Pakistan because Pakistan has economic turmoil now because of flood. Did China do that? Is there any reschedule of loans from China? No. United States has given $300 million and then additional $300 million. This is the type of thing that you give support. $68 million? What are you talking about? What China has given? Do not. No, we don't want the audience to be disinformed. The truth should come up. And these are the truths, these are the facts.
Dr. Saab, right now, right now, not only they are extending this project to Afghanistan, but also they're gonna start cleaning
This is all. I'm sorry to say that. No, I'm sorry to say that these are whimsical things, wishful thinking, and bullshit. Nothing is happening here on
Dr.
ground.
Saab,
China is not doing anything into Pakistan. Pakistan is not flourishing because of China. Pakistan has been overburdened by Chinese loan, and whatever the Prime Minister is doing, that is not serving Pakistan's interest by denying the resolution of the United States. Human rights violations going on. Let me quote one verse from Quran. وَمَا لَكُمْ لَا تُقَاتِلُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ والمستضعفين من الرجال والنساء والولدان الذين يقولون ربنا أخرجنا من هذه القرية الظالمة. And you do not stand for the cause of the oppressed Muslims. This is right there next door to you, and you are saying that they are doing a service to the Muslims, and then you are going you are not getting money from them. You are projecting a case that is not based on facts.
Dr. Saab, let me complete my question. What I'm asking you, I need the same answer from you, sir. Doesn't matter. We can talk on the technicalities. We can talk about the corruption involved. We can talk about the mismanagement.
No, we are not talking about corruption. We are talking about the fact. How much money China has given and how much burden Pakistan has taken, and can Pakistan repay those money like Sri Lanka going out of business?
Dr. Saab, let me complete, then you answer, please. Let me complete, then you answer.
Something, Dr. Golam.
Let Dr. Nadeem say something. He wants to say something.
I will add this two lines only. That Mr. Farooq, I'm very sorry to interrupt Dr. Golam. I'm very sorry to interrupt you. I'll add only two lines. When I heard the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif is going to China, I was shocked. Because at this time, Pakistan should not step away from America. America was always behind Pakistan, will be behind Pakistan, and China will not do anything. Pakistan will be just like a toll plaza, collecting money at the toll plaza. That's all I can tell you. This is a very bad time to visit China.
That is a very important thing you said, that I was trying to get some kind of response in that way. Now, you cannot do anything when Pakistan has decided to be a part of this new bloc. You know that China and Russia and the regional, and you can also keep an eye on.
We have reasons to create awareness amongst Pakistani population that these dynamics of going to this camp is detrimental to Pakistan's national security interest. We do not see anything that serves Pakistan's national security interest by siding with China except money laundering. That you are doing business with China and you are transferring funds overseas through money laundering. That is not acceptable. If there is no money laundering, I challenge to these politicians who are saying in favor of China, bring the fact sheet, bring the sheet that shows how much money you got from China and where is that spent and on what agreements was that done. We need a transparency in the system. If there is no corruption, shows the transparency. Bring it to the public.
Let me complete, please. You are interrupting me. Right now, the Prime Minister of Pakistan came back with the promise of almost 15 Arab
No,
dollars to
68,
Pakistan.
68 million. That is the, see the rate of exchange. 15
Okay,
Arab,
okay. Let
but
me
talking about
please let me
GDPs is
complete. Doctor,
68 million
let me
dollars.
complete, please. Let me complete. Now they're gonna start a new cleaning water project in Kochi, and they're gonna start rehabilitation. Uh, this relief package in different part of Pakistan for the flood victim. We cannot do anything, but we will discuss
Would they
this.
provide pure water in Gwadar? Would they provide pure water in Gwadar where they
Yeah,
have put this, the
that
project
we
of
will have a detail.
$56 billion?
So
Would they
in
provide?
our in our next segment, we will review Pakistan's foreign policy, and we will also talk about the new emerging blocks in the region, and we will also discuss in a couple of I think in 2 months, the Turkey will also come back to power again. They will be released from this agreement, and there will be a lot of regional developments. We will discuss on that.
Let's
Let's
not talk
come.
on whimsical things. Let's talk on ground realities.
Yes, let's come back to now our last segment. We have a very limited time. In Pakistan, uh, things going on a different way, especially uh, the youth. Uh, they are going to different direction. A long march now is getting a bloody long march. So Mr. Waleed Ansari is here. He's a attorney and he was a former deputy attorney general Sindh. So
No,
Dr.
Deputy Attorney General Pakistan. Yes.
In Pakistan, sorry sir, I
Okay,
apologize for
Torija.
that.
Thank you.
Okay, one of the
Based in Sindh. Yes, based in Sindh.
one of
Yes.
the journalists, uh, she was killed uh, under the fires of this uh, big container, and we don't know because there is no police report, and we don't have a credible information. And she was killed while she was uh, trying to get in the container. Somebody pushed. We don't know this, but what happened? She was there, and Imran Khan came down, and he left with different remarks. And we saw no police report, no police activity, no forensic, and the container was moved, and the body was moved, and we saw the interior minister in the police station, and he is forcing her husband to sign uh, this, the statement that he is not ready to go for a legal proceeding, even the postmortem. So, is it legal? What is the procedure? Thousands of incidents happen on the road, and we know the business usual. The police they report and they do activity, take evidence, and after that, uh, after the first report, then it's up to the court if the two parties they're agreeing not to move forward. But this is not a case between the parties. It's a container or the long march versus police or state. So what is how you will define such this incident? Is it okay if people like that they will resolve this issue, bribing or forcing them or using their political influence? Waleed Ansari sir.
Yes, Mr. Farooq Mirza, first of all, if a citizen dies, it is the responsibility of the state to take the matter to court and file a report beforehand. The police should have filed an FIR and should have taken the case to court. If the husband or the family of the deceased does not want to pursue the case, that is a civil nature that they do not want to press any, do not want damages for the loss. But we have to see, there has to be an investigation as well. Was she actually pushed? If she was pushed and they could get credible evidence on that, then the police is bound to take the matter to court, because it is always the state that is supposed to help the citizen. in criminal cases, in accident cases, always state versus so and so, state versus so and so. The state takes the case, whether the family members are agreed to that or they have resolved the matter between themselves is another issue. But a citizen that is lost is a citizen of the state, and the state must go take the case to its logical conclusion. Without an investigation, without filing an FIR, without taking it to court and bringing those re- supposedly responsible for her death, justice would be denied. We cannot go on in such manner that all cases, like you said, where accidents happen, and if the people are influential and they settle the matter outside of court, diyat and qisas are two provisions under the law which can be, but the matters must go to court to see whether there was any intention behind any accident, any death, any incident. So if there is no mens rea, that is culpability or intention to do cause or do injury, then the matter resolves. But before determining that, we cannot just close a case and, you know, put our head like an ostrich into the earth and say that this nothing happened. You have to investigate the matter.
Walid Ansari Sahab, in that particular case,
Yes,
that
sir.
in that particular case it happened, and we saw the people, the police and their authorities, even the PTI leadership, they were in the precinct and they were forcing them to sign the statement, and it happened. And it happened in that way when the world is looking into that matter. So we have a High Court, Punjab High Court, Supreme Court. So why they did not take notice of that? The way they are doing, they are embellishing, they are fooling around our justice system.
Well, I would think that the first step should have been from the police. If they have failed in their duties, then I would naturally expect that our courts, honorable courts, would take suo motu action in such a case as well. Because it's not on that people just die and you bury the matter. Yesterday, another person came under that same container, a young boy who died. Even they protested. They tried to burn the container.
Mr. Walid
So
Ansari has brought a very strong point that this matter should
Yeah,
have been
Prof. Saab,
taken
I'm
place.
coming to you. First of all, Matloob Saab,
No, let me
I
just
think
add one thing here, just one point here. He
yes, sir.
has what he has said is to take so motu action by the court. Why? Let me give you an example on this. There is a conflict of interest there. The conflict of interest is that it was Punjab police and Punjab government is pro PTI. So the conflict of interest brings a new case before so motu action by the judges. They should come up with a so motu action based on these information. And I think he's right, Mr. Walid Ansari is right. In this case, there should be a so motu action based on conflict of interest. Thanks.
Okay. Can I add one thing?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Before I say anything, every child who is born, every citizen of the state is the property of the state. When he died or when he's in danger, he is the direct property of the state. Husband can sign as many things as he want, but government executive branch should have taken upon this case, should have registered
certainly,
FIR. That is the responsibility of the state to protect the life, and after that their rights. It is written in every country all over the world. Any child who's born, any person who lives in this state is a citizen. He is the responsibility of the state to protect his life and protect his right after that death. Otherwise, there will be a massacre. I will kill your sister and you will sign a release for me. Dr. Golam Mujtaba kill my wife and I will sign a release. No. Whenever there is a death, whenever there is a federal crime, Families does not matter. They will matter is
Sayyid Ahmad, you said a very, very good thing. I think our audience, they are listening. Dr. Golam Mujtaba, you have only 1 minute to respond. The journalists, their life is threatened. And I believe Biden, he forgot to mention when he was giving a statement that Pakistan is the most dangerous place, and there he was talking about a nuclear assets. I think he should mention that Pakistan is dangerous place for the journalists, for the working environment of the journalists.
actually,
Uh,
if someone has the courage,
yes,
sorry,
please.
let me add. If someone has the courage, should go after the government, and they should sue the federal government. Why didn't you take up the case?
And Dr. Saab, Dr. Ghulam Mujtaba Saab, we will come back with this particular topic on journalists because it's a very dangerous environment.
I think
We were
Mr.
talking
Walid Ansari has to say something from law. Please go ahead. Walid
No,
Ansari
yes,
sir.
no,
Walid Ansari Saab, final word.
no. I would
Okay.
just reiterate whatever Sayyid Saab has just said, Dr. Saab, and it's correct. The state, it is the responsibility of the state to safeguard the person and the interests of every individual, every citizen under the
Thank you
Constitution.
very much, folks. Time's up. I uh, I pay special regard to all the guests from United States of America. Walid Ansari Saab, he with us from Pakistan, Karachi. Professor Ghulam Mutwa from New York, and Mr. Matlub Khan and Sayyid Ahmed. We created a great panel. Thank you, all of you. We respect your opinion. And if
Thank
anyone
you.
wants to give a response or they want to be a part of this panel, so they are free to call us and we will give them a space or they can issue a statement. And secondly, today we discuss many important issues, particularly the growing controversy in the region between Iran, Saudis, and now we have a new intelligence shared with the United States of America and almost three responsible people they responded. And America is already enraged while they learn that Iran is supplying uh, weapons and the drones to the uh, to the Russia, and he became the part of this controversy. Very serious thing and very dangerous for the regional stability. And secondly, we also talk about the recent Pakistan's premier visit to China. He came back with a very excitement. A lot of money is coming back, and they are extending a CPAC project to Afghanistan. What would be the consequences, and what would be the response, especially American response and the other world response? And I think new emerging blocks, and especially we should also keep an eye on the independence of Turkey down the road, maybe month and a half, they will be free, and we will see what will happen. We already have Pakistan has a very uh, financial interest, and we have a train that leads from Tehran to Turkey, and we have a trade. Let's see. Pakistan also is a sovereign country. They should decide where to go, but they should not stay away from the United States of America. Long-term partner always help Pakistan in difficulties, in crisis, in the natural disasters. I think the foreign policy should be based on uh, relationship with all important people. They have a historical perspective. So last thing, there is a very big crisis in Pakistan. One of the long march now is becoming a bloody long march. Two people uh, killed, and the nonsense these administration, the Dharna long march, they failed to provide security and the barrier to the people proletarian. And one of the case, a seasoned journalist, a high power, especially woman, she was killed, and the matter was solved in the police station, and they were threatened, bribed, and forced them to give statement, not to go for the legal. But we now learned that that was a very big mistake and very insult to our justice system and the responsible judges and they also listening and watching and they are doing nothing. They should take a suo moto because it's a journalist threatened. Definitely in our next segment we will take this case over and we will find what we can do and how we can raise this voice. Again, the panel, thank you very much. We will come back with a new topic. Dr. Golam Mujtaba Saab, thank you very much. Janab Waleed Ansari Saab, thank you. Matloob Saab, one of our
Thank you very much.
friend
Thank
Syed had a technical problem and we apologize for that. Thank you very much. Pakistan Zindabad.